Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beardy Reviews. This is going to be the part 2 to the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them trailer breakdown we did before. So if you haven't seen that yet, go and check it out. Now for our theories and predictions. Theory number 1, the Dark Wizard. Let's start by talking about what I think is a real threat to the magical community in North America. The New Salem Philanthropic Society, or NSPS, is an unfortunate remnant of the witch hysteria and witch hunts that plagued North America in the early to mid 17th century. They are a group of nomads who firmly believe that magic is real and that wizards and witches are evil and must be exterminated. Another group that we need to talk about is the scourers. Scourers were wizards who took advantage of the lack of law enforcement in the 17th century and became vicious bounty hunters who tortured and killed nomads and wizards alike. They were later brought to trial and executed by the newly formed Magical Congress of the United States of America, who were like an American version of the Ministry of Magic. But the ones who evaded justice developed a deep hatred for anything magical, and over generations mixed with a non-magical community, slowly weeding out any trace of magical blood. Kinda like purebloods, but the other way around. Some have suggested that members of the NSPS are actually Scourer descendants, due to their deep belief and hatred of magic. Now let's take a look at Ezra Miller's character, Credence. I'm getting the impression that he's pretty important, especially because we have almost nothing on him. All we know is that Credence is the adopted son of NSPS leader Mary Lou, played by Samantha Morton, and is described as troubled and mysterious. So from him being adopted, we can deduce that he might be an orphan, and or might have been through some kind of trauma. And the fact that he is now part of an anti-magic society could make him a very bitter and disturbed person. Now here's where it gets interesting. I think that Credence might actually be a wizard. What? But you said they were no match. He might be from a Scourer bloodline whose magic was dormant but has manifested in Credence. It definitely would make for an interesting twist. And if Mary Lou knows about his magic, the fact that he has had to hide it would have made his mental health even worse. All of this could culminate in him being a very dark wizard. If this is true, there are definitely some similarities between him and a certain orphan who must not be named. Just saying. In fact, Mary Lou could take a completely different approach to this revelation and be secretly using him as a weapon to make the wizarding community look bad. So this attack on the Shaw rally might not actually be that creature we talked about in our last video, but Credence himself trying to scare Shaw supporters and possibly assassinating Shaw himself, as this shot makes it look like whatever it is going straight for him. Theory number 2, Commander. Newt's commander. So going back to what I said on my last video, at the very beginning of the trailer, we hear Percival Graves say that Newt was kicked out of Hogwarts, but that Dumbledore argued against it. Now both Pottermore and Harry Potter Wikias say that he was expelled for endangering human life with a beast. However, the book that started it all tells a very different story, and I quote, "Upon graduation from Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Mr. Scamander joined the Ministry of Magic." Upon graduation! But that's probably just a minor change in character background to suit the film. Ah, well there's the thing, viewer, who probably sounds nothing like that. J.K. Rowling is known for letting screenwriters change plot points or character backgrounds only when absolutely necessary for the film adaptations. For example, keeping Dobby out of the Goblet of Fire, as it would translate to a very short appearance of a character we had already invested so much in. Plus you would have to introduce the Hogwarts kitchen elves, yada yada yada. So it doesn't make sense for this change to happen, since it is a big part of the character's background, and the fact that this time around J.K. Rowling is actually writing the script herself. So on the one hand you have sources that don't elaborate beyond the trailer, and the character might be misinformed about Newt's past, and on the other you have the original source of the story. So this is my theory. Either this is nothing more than a change to character background to make him look more like a rebel, maybe? Which is a bit boring, and J. Kizzle don't roll like that. Or Newt was expelled and Dumbledore managed to get him back into Hogwarts, which seems unnecessarily complicated. Or the information about him being expelled from Hogwarts is fake, and really Newt is going on some kind of secret mission for the Ministry of Magic. What? That's right, I propose that Newt is in fact an expert, sent to North America on a magical beast related mission with a fake past so as to not connect him to the Ministry. The book states that after graduating he started working at the Ministry, in the Department of Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures, which could involve him going on missions? 2, as we mentioned on my previous video, America has very strict rules on magical creatures and the amount of contact the wizarding community is allowed to have with them. So if the Ministry had presented Newt as one of their own, the Magical Congress might see it as a misconduct of international wizard relations, and could have been more hostile towards Newt or even kick him out. But wait! They do look like they're getting a bit aggressive in some shots of the film, as Newt's mission seems to involve him infiltrating into this area, which is probably the lower levels of the Congress, as we saw that he did go into the building with Tina, and they're both there in this scene. So Graves could find him out and expose him. And that is it for this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I onto something, or are these just the ramblings of a mad fan? Thanks for watching, see you next time! Bye!